Peace, we're back. Street 16 Podcast. Mike Barcliff, Chuma, Jeff McCoy. We're talking about friendships and the complications that come with them. And we were talking about different layers to friendships as far as people who have been in gangs together, some people who have played sports together, some people who have been in the military, going to war together. You have different layers of friendships. And we was asking, how many friends do you still have from school? Being that, you know, we are in our 30s and 40s now, and Chuma and I have migrated. We no longer live in our hometown, unlike Jeff and Marco. But let's start with you, Jeff. How many friends from school you still got?
I need a definition of friend.
Tell me what you think.
As far as friend, like, you know, rider, close to family but not related. You know, I have one. Actually, my best friend from first grade.
Mm-hmm.
Is still the homie today. Shout out to Damien. But, you know, then you get into acquaintances or people that were really close to you and now y'all are just kind of cool, or, you know what I mean?
Without a falling out. It just downgraded.
Right. You know what I mean? Reasons and seasons. And I've always been a very, very fair weather. I mean, we've been friends for over a decade. And outside of the show, like, we speak here and there, but I'm fair weather, like. And then I can leave it and come back to it months later and pick it up like it never went anywhere. So that's just me as an individual. But as far as people that fall within those categories from school, I'd say maybe a dozen or so.
Okay.
But I think a lot of that too is social media.
Right. Which wasn't around.
Which wasn't around.
Have you had a bad falling out, like a real serious one with someone who was really close, a Cain and Abel situation?
Two of them.
Yeah.
Two of them. Both since have been reconciled. Big shout out to Eric.
Nice.
My homie Eric, you know, we had a big falling out over...
was it money or women involved?
It was a car.
Oh, okay.
It was a car. A situation with a car. I had to borrow his whip for a job interview. Ended up having it later that night. He had some funky going on with his tags, and I got popped, and it turned into this big thing. I was mad at him because I got popped. He was mad at me because he got his car impounded. You know, do.
I can see both sides.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
and it reconciled. Now Chuma had a situation where she had a dispute that ended up with a nice reconciling because you did something special.
Yeah.
And this was with when you did the Elder Awards. What did you do?
Yeah, what we did was we honored the elders in our community, because. Brother George, I don't know who all is familiar with him around here, but he actually brought a lot of consciousness to this area, and it created other elders, not at the time, but they're elders now, to kind of continue and bring the information and knowledge here. So I thought it would be important to recognize them. But it was a particular situation where, you know, it was some disagreements amongst some of us within that community. And this particular elder, being with that community, they decided to call social services on me. I believe being vindictive, whatever the reason, it was their reason. But nevertheless, I still felt important to honor him because he was still an elder in the community. So once we had the event and I brought him in and, you know, I included him, it kind of changed his perspective of who he thought I was, which it was based off what other people were telling him. So then that in itself made him understand that I wasn't the person that he was trying to prosecute.
And after he received this award, you said that he was really grateful and was surprised it came from you.
Yeah, he was very surprised.
And since then, you and his relationship is what?
Last week, you know, he kind of got in a situation. Last week, he asked me to testify on his behalf as a character witness, and that I did, and you know, he came out, he prevailed in his case. So, you know.
I love that story. We need more of those reconciliation stories. Now, as far as the story I opened up with, friend 1, 2, and 3. All right, friend 1 is out on bail, domestic dispute. He's living with friend 2, the married man. Friend 3 is also living with friend 2. The party guy. So while friend 1 and 3 are out partying, friend 1 who is driving decides, I'm going back to the scene of the crime. I'm driving back to the apartment where my wife and my kids live at 2 a.m. with
That's the
cocaine
move.
in my system.
Because that's the move. That sounds great. That sounds like a wonderful idea.
What is friend 3's responsibility? Is he's sitting in the passenger seat and he's clearly driving from Virginia Beach to the Hampton Bridge Tunnel because friend 1 is going back to the scene of his crime. What is friend 3 supposed to do?
Well, Marco's probably already taken it. See what I did there?
Yeah, look, that's what I'm like, okay, this kind of feel like
Marco's
it's...
ass is keyed the fuck up, so I'm
Yeah.
sure he's not going to do much of anything. What he should have done
And
is
what-
talk some sense into the brother.
And what would he have though? Is that even his character? Like you gotta think about it too.
I feel like Marco would be like, man, fuck it, you go to that bitch house.
Listen,
She
friend
about to
3
get you
is
locked
not
up.
Marco. Friend 3 is not Marco, but I love the storyline of pretending that it is and just going to see where it goes. All right, so look, what happens at the house, okay? Well, we didn't witness what happened at the house because friend 3, when they pulled up, guess what friend 3 did?
Passed out.
He stayed in the car.
Right.
He stayed in the car. He wasn't passed out.
What's so? I mean,
He
friend
stayed in the car with
I
his
feel
little,
like friend 3 gassed the whole situation up. Like he's probably half the reason why my boy drove.
Okay.
They had to, but they gonna sit in the car and not be part of the.
Once again, we
aftermath.
don't know that, but what we do know, this is what I got from friend 3. What happened was, friend 1 got arrested like the next day, and his bail was revoked, and he had to sit in jail all the way to the trial, and then was convicted. All right. What happened was, when the police came and got friend 1, friend 3 was still hanging around with him, so he just took the car keys and just kept driving around town in friend 1's car while friend 1 was in jail. That's what friend 3 did.
So he's not really a good friend.
Now, he never returned the car. He left town. Friend 1's father contacted me way later in the game.
Because you are, in fact, friend 2.
Being responsible.
You're responsible when at home playing for kids.
Right. I guess we kind of knew that. And he said, listen, we're going to find friend 3 and we're going to send some guys down there to break his legs. This is 6 months later. While
This is
friend
Pop
1
saying this.
Yeah, this is Pops calling from New York. While friend 1 is incarcerated already been
Right.
processed, already doing his time. And homie never returned the car, never sought to return the car. And eventually, the bad part of the story is the car was impounded because he loaned it to drug dealers in exchange for drugs. And they did whatever they wanted to do with it, ended up being impounded, which is how the family was notified of even what city he was in.
Wow.
So go ahead.
But with him being your friend, was that a surprise? I mean, because you know the character of the people you deal with. You know what I'm saying? So is that a shock factor? Like, dang, I can't believe he did that. Or, yeah, I could see that being something he would do.
I'm going to run outside and get my book. Well, I can pull it up on PDF. But here's the thing. I have a letter from friend 1 from jail. I scanned it. It's in the book of him after he found out what kind of friend 3 really was and had that eureka moment sitting in his cell with nothing but time to think.
Right.
He jotted those thoughts down and sent it to me in the mail, and I have him. I will share them with you right in his own words after this break. It's the Street 16 podcast. Pause.
That's crazy.
And this is real. All real.
Yeah, why you accuse Marco of everything?
Which was
You
good.
are now listening to the Street 16 podcast.
Marco do too fucking much. And I wish his ass here today because I'm ready to slap back.
Oh, he was going, yeah, he was
It's like
going
a
to
set fire in his
today.
ass.
And then he mysteriously disappeared.
I guess he wasn't ready to cuss Chuma out yet. That's why he ain't come.
Right,
He
on top,
don't want none of that smoke.
on
He
top
talked
of
that big shit on that conference call. He don't want none of that smoke.